Hi guys, and welcome to the world of 28mm, and welcome back to the fourth and final part of our All Slick series. In this episode we'll be sealing our grip with some PVA and paint, and then we'll put on some flock and put on the finishing touches, and you should have your nice little piece. So let's go down to the table and we'll finish this bad boy up. See you in a sec. Okay, hey guys, just got two more stages left now. So we've poured on the sand, it's all glued down. So what I'm going to do now is seal it. Okay, so I've taken some PVA, okay, just some normal B&Q stuff, and just some simple brown paint. Not sure where this came from, to be honest with you. It was just in my attic. But I use it for all muddy colours. Okay, so and some brown. And you can see here in the palette I've just mixed some of this brown. I know you can't see the brown very well, but I've mixed some of the brown and say 2 parts PVA to 2 parts paint to 1 part PVA. Just stick a bit in there and this will seal the sand in place. Okay, give it a mix, and obviously it will make your colour lighter, but it will dry normally. Okay, and all we're going to do is just slap this onto the sand to seal it so it doesn't go anywhere. It makes it more hardy for when you're playing with it. Okay, another thing before I start to remember doing on when you're sealing things like this, because you're using wet paint and under this sand is PVA, you're going to reactivate the PVA with the paint. So don't focus on one area too much, just dab it on, okay, and make sure you get a nice coverage, but don't go back to an area that you've already done, because you will bring up some of this sand. You will bring it up anyway, bring some of it up anyway, which is fine. That's cool, because at the end of the day we're going to be putting some flock around this. I was going to use static grass, but flock seems a little bit more appropriate. So it's more of a turf thing than a grass thing. So when you get this brown paint mixed with PVA, I'll probably end up hitting the barrel as well. There. And one more side. So yeah, don't focus on one area. Like I say, once you've got the paint there, just move it about. Just try not to be too abrasive with it, because like I say, you'll bring up half of this sand. And try not to go onto the water effect as well. Let's turn that around a bit so you can see. If you make any little mess ups or anything like that, you can always go back over it after. Say I know I've got the barrel underneath where I've tried painting it. So before I or after even I put the static grass on, I'll touch it back up with some red. Okay, so there we have it. We have one painted and sealed. Actually, I might do the sides as well, just while I'm at it. Seal these sides as well. Sort of hide any of that horrific blue, make it look a bit prettier. And it's an excuse to use up some paint that I don't want to waste. So yeah. So this is the end of stage. Oh god, I can't even remember what stage you're on. So we've made our water effect. We've put our sand on. We've sealed it with PVA and brown paint, and then we're going to wait for this to dry. And we will come back and we'll cover it in some grass tufts of some static grass. Okay, so that's the piece sealed and painted brown. So I'll wait for this to dry. And hopefully we'll get the last stage done. Okay, so I'll see you in a sec, guys. Okay, so here we are, guys, for the final step. We've got here I've got some PVA just put into a palette, and I've got 2 types of flock here. We've got dark green and we've got a mid-tone moss green. We're going to use the dark one as our sort of main tone because you know, sort of polluted soil, it's going to be dark if not dead. So we're just going to get some PVA, and we'll just referring back to the previous bit when I said don't focus on the same area when painting it, that doesn't apply to this time because you've sealed it with the PVA, but because you've also put paint on it, you know, it won't reactivate. So I'm just going to move these to one side, and we'll give this a bit of a splodge with some PVA. Turn it around so you guys can see it. This is slightly watered down PVA, not by much though. I find that if you water down PVA too much when you're flocking things, it doesn't always stick. You end up a bit patchy, which is fine because you've got the brown undertone, but sometimes you want a solid, you know, a nice solid tone of flock. So almost there. Let's get this last bit done. And what we'll do with the barrels is, or around the barrel, is we will just put some like grass tufts and things around. Okay, right, so we're all PVA'd up. That's it. Okay, so we're all PVA'd up, and then first of all we're going to take a lighter flock. Okay, and we're just going to do this. I'll pour some out into the lid so I don't have to reach into the jar. Okay, so we're just going to take sprinkles and put this on the sort of open areas on the edges. So let's have a little bit of it there, and a bit of it there, and a little bit of it there. You don't want to do it too strong because it's just like a highlight, and like I said, it's not going to be bright turf or bright grass or whatever because it's polluted soil, so we're going to go mainly dark. Okay, and then we've got here we go, our dark flock, and we're just going to chuck this on. And we want a nice good coverage on there so that it adheres properly. And we're not, like I say, we're not worried about getting it on the water effect or anything like that. Just make sure you get a good coverage. And then after you've done your flock, you want to leave it about 24 hours. Once again, like we did with the dirt. Right, I'm done with that green, so I'll put that to one side. Like you did with the sand, leave it 24 hours so that it all dries properly. I'm just going to tilt this up so get underneath that barrel, get underneath there as well. There we go. So we've got nice coverage. Yeah, so like the dirt, sorry, I keep stopping mid-sentence. Like the dirt, leave it 24 hours for this to fully dry, and then give it a shake off, and you're pretty much good to go, really. So we'll come back when this is dry, and I'll do the outro and show you guys the finished product. Alright, so see you in a sec. Okay, so last step. We've flocked it. I've left it to dry for 24 hours. Okay, so we're just going to shake it off, and I might brush off the thing. So we'll give this a tap off. Make sure you got your paper down. Collect any excess. There you go. Got a nice flocked little spill. Now you can add some more to that. You know, you can put some grass tufts on, which I was going to do, but I think I need to make some more. So don't forget, keep that. It might be contaminated, but put that back in the pot. Keep that for later. Okay, and there you have it, guys. So there's your oil spill. Just one extra thing before we go to the outro. Now, because as you know, this has been done through several layers, so it's, you know, overall I think this, to film it and everything, it's taken like 2 months, fitting in with my uni and stuff, and hopefully the camera can make this out. Yeah, there you go. Can you see at the top here? There's, and another one here. Now, basically what I did was, when I gritted it, and I'm going to get a brush and brush off that with resin so you can see it properly. Yeah, so essentially what happened was, when I gritted it, I wanted to speed it up a bit, and I stuck it on the radiator to dry out the PVA a bit quicker. And because this was done in several stages, what's happened is, when I've put it on the radiator, the middle layer that we did with the Nuln Oil, or was it the Agrax Earthshade? Anyway, the middle layer hadn't finished curing by the time I put this one on. So when I put it on the radiator, it began the curing process again for the underneath layers. Excuse me. Sorry. So because it's started the curing process for the underneath layers, the gas that, the small amounts of gas that it gives off when this liquid acrylic is curing is actually building up under here, and that's why we are getting these little air bubbles. Okay, so remember that, don't be impatient like me, okay? But that is just from, like I say, it's because it's done in several pours. I put it on the radiator and it began the curing process again. So do beware, okay? So little tip for future reference. Okay, so I've explained that, so we'll go for the outro. Oh, excuse me, sorry, just eating me dinner. Yeah, so we'll go for the outro, and I'll see you in a sec. And there you go. Oh, it's been quite the ride of a series, isn't it? But hopefully you've now got something sitting in front of you that you're quite happy with, and you're very happy to put on your board. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. If you've got any more questions or anything you'd like to ask, then stick it in the comments below, and like it if you like it, share if you think someone else would like to see it, and don't forget to subscribe for more episodes. Okay, cheers guys, have fun.